What if I told you? A passenger boarded a commercial airplane, spent 7 hours talking to flight attendants, was seen by multiple travelers, and then completely disappeared, without ever appearing on a single airport security camera. It sounds impossible, but according to everyone on Flight 728, the elderly man in C-22A was real. He smiled. He spoke politely. He refused dinner. He even walked to the back of the aircraft. Then, he vanished. When investigators reviewed the boarding records, they discovered something that should never happen. Every boarding pass had been scanned. Every passenger had been counted. Every security checkpoint had been cleared. The aircraft departed with exactly 213 registered passengers, not 214. Yet 6 different witnesses described the same mysterious elderly man. Security cameras never captured him entering the plane. The passenger manifest never listed his name. And somehow, he still spent hours sitting inside the cabin. So who was he? A ghost? A stowaway? Or someone who had planned the perfect disappearance long before the aircraft ever left the ground? This is the unbelievable story of the passenger who never boarded the plane. Flight 728 left John F. Kennedy International Airport on a cold November evening. The flight was completely routine. Families were returning home. Business travelers reviewed presentations. Children watched movies. Nothing seemed unusual. Captain Michael Carter had flown the route dozens of times. The weather forecast promised a smooth crossing over the Atlantic. Exactly 1 hour after takeoff, a flight attendant noticed an elderly man sitting quietly in C-22A. He wore a dark gray coat and carried no visible luggage. When she offered him dinner, he politely declined. Nothing about him seemed suspicious. But 2 hours later, another flight attendant checked the passenger list. C-22A was supposed to be empty. She assumed it was a simple paperwork mistake. Still, airline policy required every occupied seat to match the official manifest. She asked the man for his boarding pass. He smiled calmly. "I must have left it in my pocket," he said. Moments later, he excused himself and walked toward the rear lavatory. He never came back. The crew searched every aisle, every restroom, every storage compartment. Nothing. The man had disappeared. After landing in London, airport security immediately secured the aircraft. Investigators reviewed every surveillance camera from the departure gate. Every passenger entering the aircraft could be identified, except one. No footage showed the elderly man boarding. The gate scanners recorded exactly 213 passengers. Yet during the flight, several crew members had spoken to him. Even 2 passengers remembered seeing him reading a newspaper by the window. The mystery quickly attracted international attention. Forensic teams searched the aircraft from nose to tail. Finally, they found a clue. Hidden beneath C-22A was a small maintenance access panel. It had been opened recently. Inside, investigators discovered a tiny wireless device. It wasn't a bomb. It wasn't dangerous. It was a sophisticated,